What if I told you that escaping poverty isn't about luck? It isn't about being born into the right family. It isn't about having a business degree or an investor's mind. It's about learning a pattern that anyone can follow if they are willing to change for 6 months. You might think 6 months is too short, that it's impossible to rebuild a life in half a year. But the truth is that everything changes the moment you begin to see money differently. Because wealth is not built through massive income. It's built through tiny, consistent actions that compound quietly until they become unstoppable. Most people believe they are stuck because of their salary or their environment. But what keeps them stuck isn't the lack of opportunity, it's the lack of structure. And when structure appears, everything changes. Because structure creates order. Order creates calm, and calm creates the space where money can grow. There are 9 easy steps to follow, and remember that the 7th step is where the magic really happens. So leave a like and let's start. The first step is awareness. The reason people stay poor for so long is not because they don't earn enough, it's because they don't see where their money goes. They live in a fog, and that fog hides every mistake, every leak, every unnecessary expense. Awareness burns that fog away. It starts with a notebook or a simple app where you write every single thing you spend, no matter how small, no matter how meaningless it seems. The first week will shock you because you will begin to see that you are not broke, you are leaking. $5 here, 10 there, a few monthly subscriptions you forgot, a delivery fee that doubled the cost of dinner. Little things that look innocent until you add them up. But awareness isn't just about numbers. It's about facing your behaviour without excuses. When you see clearly, you feel uncomfortable, and that discomfort is good, because it means you're waking up. People fear awareness because they think it will make them feel worse, but it does the opposite. It gives you control. Once you know exactly where your money is going, you begin to make different decisions automatically. You stop reacting and start managing. You begin to realise that poverty isn't just a condition of having little, it's a condition of not knowing. Awareness turns chaos into clarity, and clarity is the foundation of every fortune ever built. The second step is cutting the noise. Once you see clearly, you'll realise that your money has been serving everything except you. It's been serving habits, impulses, distractions, and the opinions of others. Now it's time to clean it. Simplify your life until only the essential remains. Every bill, every expense, every object in your home must earn its place. If it doesn't move you closer to freedom, it's just noise. Cut it. People fear cutting back because they associate it with sacrifice, but true freedom begins when you stop buying things that don't matter. Cancel what you don't need, pause what you don't use, and renegotiate what you can't cancel. If a company is charging you for convenience, remember that convenience is the most expensive product in the world. The more comfortable your spending habits, the slower your growth. Simplicity isn't poverty, it's power. It's the quiet confidence of knowing that you could lose everything and still be okay because you don't depend on things to feel complete. Minimalism isn't about having less. It's about having more space, more clarity, more cash flow. When you remove the noise, your money becomes yours again. You stop living for appearances and start living for progress. You stop working to impress people who don't notice and start working for a future that will thank you. Cutting the noise is not a punishment, it's a liberation. It's the moment you choose to stop being a consumer and start being an investor in your own peace of mind. The third step is building a system, because no matter how strong you think you are, you cannot win against your own impulses forever. Willpower fades, but systems stay. A system doesn't ask you to remember. It doesn't rely on motivation. It just works in the background quietly, day after day, while your life moves forward. To build one, open a second account, something separate from your main one, and label it your freedom account. Every time you get paid, no matter how small the amount, move a fixed percentage there automatically. Even if it's 1%, even if it's the price of a coffee, the act is more important than the amount. Because automation removes emotion, and emotion is what destroys financial growth. The moment saving becomes automatic, you are no longer negotiating with yourself. You are building consistency. Over time, you will stop noticing what you've moved, but you will notice what's growing. That small, silent transfer becomes your daily proof that you are moving forward. And this isn't just about money, it's about identity. You are no longer someone who hopes to be disciplined someday. You are disciplined now. You've built a mechanism that works even when you don't feel like it. That's how real wealth begins, not through a raise or a lucky break, but through an invisible structure that works while you sleep. And if you can automate your savings, you can automate your bills, your debt payments, even your investments. You are transforming your finances into a machine that never stops, one that works in your favour instead of against you. People underestimate the peace that comes from order, but order is where power begins. The fourth step is increasing your income, but not by waiting for someone to give you more. You do it by learning how to create, like creating a YouTube channel, since YouTube is literally on easy mode now, and it's blowing up every small channel that does things right, as I teach you in my free Telegram community with the link below. The truth is that every person has something valuable they can turn into money, a skill, a knowledge, a small craft, even time. The difference between those who stay stuck and those who grow is that one group sees themselves only as workers, while the other sees themselves as creators. The internet has made creation accessible to everyone. You can write, teach, sell, design, fix, share, or resell. You can turn your phone into a tool that earns instead of one that distracts. The first time you earn $1 outside your job, you will feel a shift inside you, a strange new sense of freedom. You realise that your financial destiny is not fully in someone else's hands anymore. You've created a new path, however small it starts. And from that moment, every skill you learn, every hour you invest in yourself starts to multiply. Because skills compound like money does. You don't have to start with something huge, start with something real. Offer your help online, sell what you know, solve a small problem for someone. That's how it begins. The moment you create value, the world opens its door just a little wider for you. And with every door that opens, your confidence grows. The difference between those who rise and those who don't is not talent, it's movement. People who move win, people who wait stay. The fifth step is learning to multiply, because saving alone will never set you free. Saving gives you stability, but multiplication gives you growth. And multiplication happens when you understand compounding. Compounding is the most powerful financial force on earth, yet most people never experience it because they quit too soon. It works quietly, invisibly, and slowly, until one day it erupts. Imagine putting aside $5 a day, something so small you wouldn't even notice it. You invest it in something steady that gives a 10% annual return. At first, nothing happens. A few dollars grow into a few more. You check your balance and think, this is useless. But after a year, after 2, after 3, it begins to move faster. The line starts curving upward, and suddenly what seems small becomes undeniable. That curve is your escape velocity, the point where your money begins to work harder than you do. And the beauty is, it doesn't only apply to money, it applies to habits, knowledge, and relationships. The longer you keep adding small improvements, the greater the explosion of growth later. But here's the trap. Most people never see the explosion because they stop watering the seed before it sprouts. They want fast results in a world that rewards patience. So you must commit to the process without expecting daily proof, because compounding is faith in motion. Every deposit, every habit, every small consistent act. However, they all build momentum, and then one day, the curve bends, and you understand why they call it magic. The sixth step is learning how to protect what you build, because it doesn't matter how fast you grow if you lose it all in one careless move. Most people never learn this part. They focus on earning, saving, and investing. But they forget that the first rule of wealth is preservation. Protecting your money starts with understanding risk, not avoiding it completely, but managing it wisely. Risk is like fire. In small doses, it cooks your food and keeps you warm. In large doses, it burns your house to the ground. The goal isn't to eliminate it, but to control it. That means having an emergency fund that shields you when life surprises you. At least 3 to 6 months of basic expenses kept safe, untouchable, like a guard standing at your gate. Without this buffer, one unexpected expense, a broken car, a health bill, a lost job, can erase months of progress. Protecting your wealth also means having insurance where it matters, but not wasting money on things you don't need. It means saying no to the get-rich-quick promises that scream on every screen, to the voices telling you that you can double your money overnight. Because when someone promises you instant wealth, what they really want is your patience, your peace, and your pockets. And once they take that, you're back at zero. So be patient, build slow, understand that real wealth is quiet. It doesn't rush, it doesn't show off, it just grows. When you learn to protect what you earn, you begin to feel something new: security. And that security is priceless because it lets you take bold steps without fear. Without protection, one small mistake can drag you back into the same cycle you worked so hard to escape. But with it, you stand steady no matter what happens around you. The 7th step is mastering your time. You can always make more money, but you can never make more time, and yet most people trade their time for things that don't move them an inch forward. Poverty doesn't just steal money, it steals hours, days, and years. Wealth, on the other hand, begins when you start treating every hour like currency. Every day has value, and how you spend it determines your direction. The first thing to understand is that distraction is the enemy of progress. The more distracted you are, the poorer you become, because your attention is your most valuable asset. If you don't control it, someone else will. Advertisers, social media, endless scrolling, constant entertainment. They all compete for your attention because your attention produces their profit. Once you realize this, you begin to guard your time like treasure. You start asking yourself before every action, does this bring me closer to freedom or does it just fill the emptiness? When you stop wasting time, you naturally stop wasting money. Your priorities sharpen. You start learning instead of scrolling, building instead of consuming, creating instead of watching. The world doesn't need more spectators, it needs more builders. And to build, you must give your best hours to your own vision. So wake up earlier if you must, or stay up later if you have to, but carve out sacred time every day for your growth. Even one focused hour a day can change your life. It's not about doing more, it's about doing what matters most. Every moment you spend intentionally adds weight to your future, and soon you'll realize that success is never about luck, it's about control. Control of time, energy, and direction. Once you master your time, poverty loses its grip because you stop living reactively and start living deliberately. The 8th step is building the mindset of ownership. Poor people think in terms of survival, rich people think in terms of creation. Survival asks, how can I get through this month? Creation asks, how can I make this month produce for me? The shift is subtle, but it changes everything. When you start thinking like an owner, you stop waiting for permission. You stop blaming circumstances. You start seeing problems as opportunities. Ownership begins with responsibility. Full responsibility for where you are right now. No excuses, no stories. Maybe you were born into a hard situation. Maybe you've been unlucky. Maybe you've made mistakes. It doesn't matter, because ownership means you accept the power to change it. People waste years arguing with reality, but the ones who win are the ones who act, like all the people in my free Telegram community. They chose to ask by opening their YouTube channel, and since YouTube is on easy mode, they're quietly building their wealth. If you want to, join with the link below. When you think like an owner, every dollar, every hour, every connection becomes a tool. You no longer see money as something you chase, you see it as something you direct. You understand that the true purpose of money is freedom. The freedom to choose how you live, where you work, and what you give your energy to. Ownership also means taking responsibility for your emotions about money. Many people carry fear, guilt, or shame from the past, and those feelings sabotage their decisions. But money is neutral. It's not good or bad, it's just energy, and you decide how to use it. When you start treating it with respect and intention, it responds. You begin to attract stability instead of chaos, opportunities instead of struggles. The owner's mindset transforms everything because it gives you internal control in a world that constantly tries to pull it away. Once you feel that control, no one can make you small again. The 9th step, the final one, is expansion. Once you have awareness, simplicity, systems, growth, compounding, protection, mastery of time, and ownership, you are ready to expand. Expansion is when your focus shifts from survival to contribution. It's when you begin to use your money not just to live, but to build something greater than yourself. Most people think wealth is about buying freedom for one person, you. But real wealth expands outward. It touches others. It creates. It multiplies through generosity, through building, through teaching. Expansion doesn't always mean charity. It can mean creating opportunities for others, hiring someone, mentoring someone, helping a family member start their path, or even just sharing what you've learned. Because wealth that stays in your pocket eventually stagnates, but wealth that moves grows stronger. Expansion also means learning continuously. The moment you stop learning, your growth slows down. Read every day, listen, study, question. The more you learn, the more opportunities appear, because your brain starts connecting dots that others can't see. It's not luck, it's awareness multiplied by curiosity. Expansion is also internal. It's about growing your capacity to handle more success, more responsibility, more patience. Because the truth is, wealth doesn't change who you are, it amplifies who you already were. That's why inner growth must come before outer wealth. When your character expands, your results follow naturally. And soon, you begin to realize something powerful. Escaping poverty was never about money, it was about transformation. Money was just the mirror, reflecting your new habits, your new identity, your new mindset. By the time 6 months have passed, something irreversible happens inside you. You stop fearing bills. You stop dreading the end of the month. You stop counting days until the next paycheck. You start living with intention. You start thinking like someone who builds, not someone who chases. You start understanding that wealth is not about the size of your bank account, but about the calm in your mind. The noise of panic fades. You feel a quiet power that wasn't there before. The power of knowing that you're in control. You begin to see money the way the wealthy see it. Not as a goal, but as a tool. A tool that buys time, that builds options, that lets you choose peace over pressure. And in that moment you realize you've already escaped. Because poverty was never just a lack of money, it was the absence of direction. You have direction now. You have control. You have proof that small steps repeated with faith can rebuild an entire life. You might look around and see that nothing external has changed yet. Your house, your job, your surroundings. But internally everything is different. You've built a system that will keep compounding quietly, like a YouTube channel. You've stopped living in reaction and started living in design. You've stopped waiting and started moving. And movement is where freedom begins. The next 6 months will only multiply what you've already created. Your savings will grow faster, your skills sharper, your choices wiser. You'll start attracting opportunities you once thought were reserved for other people, because opportunities follow those who are prepared. The person who used to fear opening their banking app now checks it with curiosity. The person who used to dread work now sees it as fuel for their investments. The person who used to feel powerless now understands that power is built, not given. And once you taste that feeling, you'll never go back. Because the path out of poverty is not a straight road. It's a spiral of small improvements that lift you higher with every turn. You might stumble, you might slow down, but you'll never return to where you started. Because you're not the same person anymore. And when people ask you how you did it, you'll smile because there's no single trick, no hidden secret, no miracle stock or business. There's just 9 steps, followed patiently, consistently, relentlessly. Awareness, cutting the noise, building a system, increasing income, learning to multiply, protecting what you build, mastering your time, owning your path, and expanding your world. Follow them for 6 months with full intention, and your life will not just improve, it will transform. Because escaping poverty is not about money, it's about momentum. Once you start moving forward, momentum does the rest. It pushes you, carries you, compounds your progress until one day you look around and realize that what used to feel impossible has become your normal life. That's the real secret. Not luck, not timing, not privilege. Just direction, discipline, and time. And you have all 3 now. You only need the 4th thing, which is to join my free Telegram community. Think about it. If you've made it this far in the video, it means what I'm explaining to you in my free Telegram community works, right? So join with the link below and let me know if you expected this in the comments, subscribe to this channel, and see you soon. Just a reminder, I'm not a financial advisor. This video is for educational purposes only, and any results depend on your own decisions and actions.